Bonjour and welcome into the cave. Today, I am joined by a duo from Brighton who makes music that belongs both on the dance floor and in the mosh pit. Unapologetically themselves, they use their songs as a way to express what's going on inside, tackling mental health with honesty and intensity. It feels liberating for them, and it might feel the same for you listening. May and George of WREX are here with me today. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
As we are talking not yet, but as the episode will be released, you would have just announced the release of your new EP, Sad World, that will be out on May 22nd. How was 2025 for you?
Busy. Even though we didn't release any music, we played 54 shows. So it was a busy one. All in the UK. Mostly different cities as well, which is quite cool. Although we did do 5 shows over Great Escape weekend. So we did 2 shows one day and 3 shows the next.
Oh, crazy.
But yeah, busy year.
And made the record.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Well, yeah.
As well.
I didn't just puff into an appearance.
Yeah, a very busy year.
Yeah, how was it mixing, preparing for shows and preparing the record at the same time?
Tough. I think we put the record back than when we were going to originally put it out.
Yeah, because we were looking at the end of last year first of all, weren't we?
Yeah, there was kind of a pressure for us, or not by anyone other than us because we're independent, but we were trying to capture on the energy of doing all the shows and bring the record out at the back end of last year. And then it took us a little bit longer to finish it because we do everything ourselves. So having the time to finish the mixing and things like that took a little bit out of us because obviously we were so worn out from the gigs.
Yeah, feeling your ears battered every night.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do when you get back is mix a record.
But on the other end of that, I think that helped the record and it influenced us a lot in the way that we made it and the kind of energy we went into it with in terms of our confidence in what we were tracking and a little bit the ideas of, I don't know, this record feels a little bit rawer or punkier than our previous record. But I think that's because we had that live energy going.
Mm-hmm.
So we let that influence things. We weren't horrifically over the top with do that thing again. Get it better.
It's not as perfected. It's kind of more we took the raw emotion from the first takes rather than, do it again until it's because then you lose you lose some of the emotion.
Yeah, a lot of it. Some of it was literally the first or second take of something.
So you really wanted to keep the authenticity of it.
Yeah, and our emotion, and I think with the guitar playing as well, that was a big part of it. We didn't tune or edit things as heavily as you might do, or we have maybe in the past.
So I had the opportunity to listen to it, and it's really good. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
I'm really excited to have everyone hear it.
I can imagine. And what do you want people to feel like when they listen to it, or what type of message do you want to convey with it?
I don't know if there's an intention in that manner. It's not something we've set out to do. I think
everything we kind of do is a release, isn't it? It's an emotional release, be that anger, frustration, sadness,
Yeah, for us, that we're excited for it to be out in the world and it's our release. And I think given us some of the subject matters, I think people will probably connect with what's going on in the world. And the title Sad World is something we kind of, I want to say we went back and forth on what we didn't. I maybe second guessed it a few times.
You did, yeah, after I'd already made the artwork.
Yeah. So I kind of went back and forth a little bit, but it's just kind of a encapsulation of what's going on in the world.
There's just so much potential, and somehow everything just doesn't seem to be very optimistic at the minute.
Yeah, everything feels like an uphill struggle.
So this is why you were second guessing.
A little bit, maybe. I think our insecurities, I think we were vulnerable on this record, and I think maybe
calling it Sad World is basically saying this is This is a vulnerable record, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a vulnerable record, and I think maybe like I second guess things when I've been vulnerable because it's almost like you feel like you've overshared. So like I shouldn't have said that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like our musical equivalent. I hope they can feel the emotion that went into it and
Mm-hmm.
what we're singing and talking about here and there, and I hope they find their own connection to it. I'm a big believer in like what a song means to me doesn't have to mean that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you have your own moment with it and your own connection with it. Like, because I think that's what good music has done for me, at least. That's what I think music should do.
Yeah, especially in this genre, in alternative genres in general, this is what people are looking for emotions and to relate to the songs.
Yeah, I think we've worn our heart on our sleeves a little bit, and we've met a lot of people this last year gigging. And it was the first time that we really got to ever encounter that. Like our band, it started in this room, me and May writing songs, and we never had any intention of being a band. We just wrote some songs, and then we put them out, and then we put the next one out, and we put the next one out, and we just were having fun with it. Not that we're not now, but like we were having just seeing what would happen, and
Kind of got to that fourth one, and we had to make a decision, really.
yeah, once we'd written 4 songs, we were like, okay, what are we going to call this, and what are we going to put it out as? And then when we actually did put them out into the world, and like our first single was played on Kerrang radio and BBC introducing when we'd never played a gig. We'd never even actually played the songs, like not into the recording software. So like we were having to learn how to do it all like as one. So this last year has been a great opportunity to like connect with people and
Just making up for the time.
Yeah.
For the time that we weren't playing live.
And I hope that like they can, I think that's somehow made its way into the record in like the way that we've then created and captured things and the emotions we've explored and things.
I feel like the energy, probably more with me because you played live a lot more beforehand. But when we were recording the first 4 songs, I hadn't played live in so many years that I probably just didn't have that energy anyway. Whereas now, because we've kind of done it, I think my delivery is probably better.
Yeah, we deliver the vocals. I think I'm really proud of on this record. I think they're delivered with intention and less.
I'm not like worrying about like, oh, is this absolutely perfect? I'm like, did I absolutely mean that? Instead of like, is it note for note?
Is it got intention? Has it got emotion behind it? I think is where we're focused on more. I hope that people connect to that and hear that in it in their own way.
And we will talk about one of the songs of the EP in a few minutes. But first, so are going to talk about 2 lines that you both wrote. And I kind of put them together because there are 2 spoken words, like a bit like Movements or La Dispute does. And the first one is from your song The End of the EP This Hell Goes a Long Way Down that you released in 2024. So May, you chose this line, and the line is, "Don't tell me you've never felt anything like this, because when we feel nothing, it's the closest it gets to bliss. I can't begin to comprehend the thought of waking up tomorrow when what I live today feels like it's stolen, begged, and borrowed."
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things on that piece because it's the lyrics that you're singing underneath that as well. Because George has got like quite a shouty, long, drawn out line. And then with the rhythm of the more spoken word style coming over the top, for me, that's like the 2 sides of like the brain. It's like the absolute, it's just like frustration and anger because they're not necessarily the same either. Like for me, like I'm the frustration and you're the anger in that part. You're like the just like and then I'm kind of like venting alongside that.
I agree. I think as well, like one of them's kind of like one's talking about the present and one's talking about the future in lines, which is quite. I never thought of it that until now.
It's like the last 2 lines is like you just don't feel like you are where you should be. It's almost like you don't have an appreciation for what you do have.
My lyrics are take what you can, the end is coming, which isn't meant to be about death, but I can see how it can be pictured in that way. That song was kind of about the death of childhood. When I was younger, my house was repossessed. And when I came home from school, I just found in England there's a letter that gets put in your window. And that was that. But I couldn't go in my house anymore. And so that song was kind of about that.
And I think that line is almost like that's kind of like the build up for me is what I was trying to capture for that bit. Is like the build up of emotions until you've reached you're feeling so much that you almost can't feel anything anymore, and that's almost better.
Yeah, that numbness.
Yeah,
it's this weird balance when you feel too much and nothing at all at the same time, and you don't really know how do you feel, and everything is just bottled up. But it just takes one thing to open the bottle and everything goes out. Kind of how it feels also maybe at the end of this song. And so who wrote this line?
I think I did.
Yeah, you did. You wrote that because because
you started it, didn't you?
I had the idea and was like, I've got this. I wrote the song, and then
I like that in the start of it, you sing that part, and then it's the rap part, but at the end they overlap.
Yeah,
because it's like you're angry, then you're frustrated, but then at the end you're like all of it at the same time.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool writing process because the first bunch of songs we wrote were like May's acoustic guitar demos that I like turned into rock songs, and I was like, I think I can do this. Then we wrote a song called Vacant, and that was the first one where like I kind of added like my own parts rather than just kind of extensions of the already idea, really. And I had my own vocal parts and things. And then I think this record was the first one where I would write parts and ideas as I would songwrite, and they were not necessarily intended for WREX or anything, and I just write songs, and then May would come in and go, but what if it did this? And then would write something so different than where my brain would have gone. We found a new dynamic in the process. We never have any holes barred in like, just try this. Like, so it was really interesting seeing where that went, and you were exploring a lot more of the quicker spoken word kind of stuff.
With that EP, after we did This Hell Goes a Long Way Down, I really enjoyed that second verse. It was just so much fun to do. And I'm not particularly like a shouty or angry person, so that's probably why it was so much fun. I think I saw the opportunity and I took it.
It works. Like we just found a new balance was found in the way that we were writing and in that record. I think I literally just kind of said, this is you know, quite often male sometimes ask like, you know, what's the emotion? Where's it coming from?
Yeah, because if you've lyrically started a song already, I need to make sure I'm in the same headspace.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're plugging into my brain or thought process. So you'll do that. And yeah, she just taps in this way. We just write really well in that sense. And I think because there is no egos in it, it's just like, let's just write a song. Because it always comes from this idea of let's just write some songs.
Yeah.
That's quite fun. And that was a fun song to write. I think I remember when we were mixing the record as well, that was the first one that like came together that was like, oh, this sounds, there's always a song that is the one that gets ahead of the pack. And you then basically spend the rest of the time, or I do as an engineer and a mixer, trying to get the rest of them up to that standard and make them sound as good. And that was the one. I think it was the first time we'd really played with like the kind of breakbeat drum and bass kind of beats as well, which was cool. It's the first time we'd ever really laid on to that angle.
We've only played that live once as well.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting how you're writing a song, because George, you were talking about how this line can talk about your story with your house when you were a child, and though May wrote this line, so it's kind of the same feeling, but both of your stories. And maybe this is also why your songs can be so relatable, because it's one feeling and for different stories.
I try not to like delve too much on where a song came from or what it was, because I also don't want to ruin it for myself by like effectively like reliving a trauma every time I have to sing a song or listen to a song. But it was nice to let that out, but it was also kind of nice to celebrate it in this other way, as you said. And it becomes something else once it's done. Once the song's out, it becomes its own beast.
I find it like quite interesting and worryingly easy actually to plug into your emotions sometimes. It's probably going to sound like a really weird sentence, but I enjoy plugging into your emotion when we're writing songs because I can like see your feelings.
I'm quite an emotional person. We were doing an interview earlier and someone was explaining to me like being an empath, and he was like, yeah, you need to go and look at that because you definitely are. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not, I am educated, but in some senses I'm not. So I'm like, I don't really know what that means. Like, I think I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I think you're a little bit more subdued. So it's easier when like you can plug in to them because they're quite obvious to plug into.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, when I do get emotions, I really get them, especially with like the angry side of things. I don't really have that much anger. So for me to plug into your brain for that, to channel that really helps me.
Yeah. It's weird.
I'm just assuming right now, but so May, if you don't express your emotion as easily as George, you're kind of using what he's feeling to write about his emotions, but it's also yours.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I guess my emotions come out on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a home time emotion person.
No, you just let it out different.
I do.
I think we just express ourselves differently.
Yeah.
I think I feel things very intensely.
Quite openly as well.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing at all.
Well, I kind of learned to feel it openly because I can't bottle it. I can't lie. I can't hide it. I'm terrible at lying. I'd be a terrible politician. I just can't, and I'm lucky enough I've managed to make it fit in my life and work in my work. I'm just kind of the person who like, yeah, I'll say it how it is, and I'm not very good at saying it not how it is. And yeah, you kind of just tap into that and do your thing, and that's cool.
I find it easier to relate than to almost like be in touch with my own feelings sometimes, especially when it's like that's such a strong emotion that song was about, that I don't think I had a personal experience of that same level.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to tap into your experience,
yeah,
I think was necessary.
I guess it makes a good balance because I'm more like May. I don't really express my emotions, and I think this is good to have someone as an example who expresses a lot because it helps also to be more vulnerable because there is more trust in the person, and in a band like this you need to trust yourself 100% because
I mean, we've never created anything that we weren't creating for us. As selfish as like it sounds selfish, but we create art or songs that we just like, and I don't really think about it past that.
Yeah, if it's not fun for us, it's not coming out.
There's kind of a rule in this room. This is where we write everything in this room, and you have to kind of dance and move to it. It has to be like, it has to give you some sort of energy. So
yeah, if we can't like jump around or cry to it, then everything that you hear is made here. And then the drums we record just down the road at Brighton Electric. But everything else is done in this room.
Yeah, it's all done by us. It's cool. It's fun. It's
It means that, like you were saying, that we don't sound like anyone else.
Yeah,
bands, they go to a specific producer and then they just sound like they're in. Well, you're one of their bands now. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard though to do it this way. I'm not saying that we'll maybe do it this way forever, but right now I enjoy it. To me, it's just nice to be like, I made this piece, I wrote this song and I made it top to bottom, and that's it. Like a painter would. Like it's not factory made, this band. And we're pretty switched on in how we do things, but it's not. If it was a factory, it's cottage industry. Like we're very much in house and we do it that way, and I enjoy that. What's been cool is it started off as a space for us, and it's become a space that we can now invite people into. Like our band, the extended band, like or friends who come and write with us, and there's some songs on the new record that were just like we wrote with friends, but it wasn't like an industry staged songwriting session. It was like, do you want to come over and write some songs? And they'd come over and we'd cook dinner and we'd hang out just like we do. And it's just hanging out with a mate and we write some songs. And it's like fun was had and the day was had. And the song is kind of like the byproduct of the day.
Well, it's not forced.
It's just we set a day aside, usually a day or two. And the song is usually a byproduct of that time.
But this way you're really proud of the final product.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say my career is like mixing for other people and producing and things, and I like that. But even then, I kind of look at what I do. I don't want to compete with big recording studios, and my approach to it is probably because of the way I'm wired. Usually when people come and make a record with me, we kind of like live in each other's shoes for a few days and we connect and we hang out. I made a record with a friend, and he's one of my first ever clients actually. But he would just come down from London, and I think of all the studios between here and London he could have gone to. But he comes down here and he hangs out in my garage and we write songs and we go for a run together, and it's just I don't want to say a byproduct because I'm getting paid to do it, but it's not like it's fun. And I think music needs to be that. Like I think we put so much emphasis on numbers and streaming and success and all these quantifiable things, which don't get me wrong are cool and beneficial, but I don't know. I think like
if you're not having fun, what's the point?
Yeah, it's everyone can put out their own music now. It's really easy, and that's awesome. Like it's a level playing field that everyone's on the same thing. But what's also happened is artists are now thinking like labels and not artists. A lot of my friends are tattoo artists, and they can just draw something and they can go like, I drew this, do you want it? And they just give me it and it's gone and it's done, and it doesn't have to be overthought. It doesn't have to be, I know I said like this song's personal about my childhood. Not everything has to be that. So yeah, for me, it's important that we can make it ourselves. It allows us to make what we want when we want, which is what this band started for. How that will evolve, I don't know, but I enjoy that element of it.
This is something that you're really doing out of passion for it, so it needs to stay a passion and not to feel like a job and something that takes a toll on you.
We look at everything as like we get to go and do it. Like we were saying the other day, if someone says like, what's like the breakthrough point for you? And we were like, people are messaging us asking us if we'll go and play rather than us begging to go and play somewhere. And that was, and honestly, it's like, and we don't have a booking agent. It's us. We do it all. You do it all. But that is something we get to do. And I look at it as like, that's incredibly lucky.
Yeah, just go and play shows with our friends.
Yeah.
And people want to hear our songs sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not all the time.
Sometimes they don't get a choice.
But yeah, and like everyone around the band, it's kind of an extension of that. Why it's the two of us, it's kind of easier to run that way. But then like we have like 5 different drummers. Of Greg, who's plays on the last 2 records, but there was a point last year where we had like 5 different people, but everyone's in it for the same. Do you just want to come play a show? Like, can you do it? And it just feels like hanging out, which for me at this level or what we're doing, it still has to be fun. If you don't enjoy it, if I wanted to do something I didn't enjoy, I'd go and work in an office, and that's just me. I'm not, no shade on that. Like some people really enjoy that.
Now we will switch to the second line, which is from a song that is not released yet, and that will be on your new EP, which is called The News. So George, you picked that line, which is, and it's the same dream every night. I hold the key to the door, but it just don't fit right. I feel like the water is rising. I'm disappearing on the horizon. So why did you choose this line?
I kind of had like this section of music that's from. It just sounded really spacious, and I was pushing myself to just do something different. It's kind of like this idea of like, you know how to fix the things, like you know how to get to where you want to go or get out or whatever. Like having a nightmare and almost like sleep paralysis is like the key to the door, and you can't get out. And again, the delivery of it was something I was proud of. I worked on it a fair few different run-ups at it and tried it different ways. Yeah, that was just the one that stuck. And for me, that section of music is one of my favorite bits on the record. So I think that's why I connected that lyric, but it's not not solely because of the lyric why I like that section of music, but that lyric is ultimately, the answer lies with you. I'm a big Michael Singer fan, and his books, and he kind of says it as like, if your room is messy, you know how to tidy it. You can't sit here and be like, oh, someone came into my house and made all this mess. It's like, you know how to tidy it up. And that mess is the same as the mess that we create inside ourselves emotionally, like sometimes. And it might take work, but you know how to tidy it up. And I think maybe it was some self-reflection on knowing I had to do that work at different points in my life to tidy myself up. But yeah, I think that's why it's probably kind of why I'm proud of it as well, because there's some pride in taking those steps and getting better.
You do know actually how to make it better, but that's not the easiest way. As we were talking about, for example, for me or for me, I assume, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not in your head, but just bottling out the feelings is just easier on a certain moment, but not the healthiest way.
Yeah, you know how to do it. It's not easy, but you can. But then, like, I guess it's that thing of as well as like the hope's disappearing on the horizon. It's kind of like maybe you're afraid to take a step because of failure or because of what might happen or might not happen. But like, if you wait too long, the boat's going to leave and you might miss it anyway. So I think it was kind of that tied in there as well. Yeah, I don't know why I'm proud of it. It's just something I connect with. Obviously, I wrote it. Like, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of that section of music. I guess it felt kind of like La Dispute. And when you said movements, actually, I didn't think of it like that. But yeah, I really like movements. Pat's a lovely human. And the 2 times I've met him, I guess, yeah, it's influenced by those people and the way they deliver it. Like, it's not self-deprecating. It's in that kind of way. It's not blaming other people either, though. It's kind of not painting yourself as the victim, but it is kind of, obviously it's worded as me and I, but it's not in a self-deprecating way, which is nice.
Yeah, it's more like owning your feelings.
Yeah, for sure. Which I think that song, there's a song does as well.
But it's funny because I see on Reddit, for example, a lot like people asking, do you know any bands that does some spoken words like Movements does? Because everyone is thinking about this part in Full Circle. So now we'll know what to answer. Just go listen to this song.
Yeah, you know what? I'd never even thought of it as like, what was I going through? There was a remix album of their last record, and I loved that. Like, I thought it was great. And yeah, Full Circle as a record is just that era of Movements is a great record. I maybe haven't recognized that as an influence until this moment, but yeah, I do really like those bands.
I love how throughout the episode you're discovering things about the lyrics you wrote, about the influences you got.
Yeah, I don't think we set off with like a clear objective.
Even with the first verse, that like the very first line you were deliberating over as well.
Oh yeah, because the very opening line is, with eyes wide open, the light is fading in, a world in focus breaks like porcelain. And I sung it like kind of like Alexis on Fire. Like, it was supposed to be kind of like a hardcore song that like everyone can sing. And then when we came to like doing the lyrics, I changed it, and rather than just kind of like a straight middle of the road like da 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 da, I kind of was like starting to make it a bit fancier and going like da 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 and getting a bit more melodic. And I was just like, it doesn't need to be that. It just needs to be simple. It needs to be the thing that I don't know. I just want an audience. I hope there'll be a moment where they'll just like, where everyone's like, with eyes wide open. It was like really powerful moment. It just needed to be that. It didn't need to be overthought. And I think this whole record, whenever there was a complicated option, or wherever we might have in the past gone the more complicated route, I think we reined it back in a lot of the times.
But you were making it difficult enough to play and sing for yourself anyway.
Yeah. I mean, some of it is really hard, don't get me wrong, but I like that challenge too. But yeah, it was nice to not feel the need to do those things too much. I think that comes with confidence in who we are and having played a little bit more.
And I really love all the influences you're naming. So we talked about La Dispute, Movements, Alexis on Fire. You also mentioned Where She Sleeps. Well, not in the episode. And this, I can definitely hear it. And George, your voice sounds a lot like, I think his name is Matt from La Dispute.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard it, and it really doesn't feel like you're copying him. It's just that your voice sounds a lot like him. No one ever told you that?
No.
Because for me, that was obvious when I listened to you guys.
Cool. Nah.
Good
But-
one.
Yeah, I take it. I mean, like, yeah, they're great. Like, only vocals that have been compared to is someone. There was that review where that guy got really mad and said, "Why does this guy think he's Youngblood?" And it was in the song "The End," and it's like, because I'm from the same town.
Yeah, they were just getting mad.
So you
at your
just have the
accent,
same
weren't they?
accent.
Yeah,
I'm from.
That's literally it. Yeah.
My dad's friend is friends with his granddad, kind of thing, or was friends with his granddad. Like, that we're the 2 degrees, 1 degree of separation kind of thing. Like, it's a Yorkshire accent. I think it's just what's funny is, like, I grew up with my accent not singing in it, because the only bands that sang in my accent was the Arctic Monkeys. It was the only band, and I wasn't an indie kid. I was like rock and metal and pop punk. I do love the Arctic Monkeys, but the music I grew up before them was all American accents. So for a long time, the music I wrote, I had like a fake American accent, effectively. Then there'd be certain words that just shone through in my accent, and it wasn't because I can't hide it when it comes out. And then it was only really when it was Youngblood that I kind of started to hear it in an alternative space.
And you get it with Hot Milk as well.
Yeah, around the same time, I guess I didn't really connect with them as much. Maybe it's because he literally is from Doncaster. And then, While She Sleeps, but it's not as obvious with While She Sleeps.
I think it's because it's more distorted.
Yeah. It's something I've grown into. Like, I think even since the start of this band, my voice has changed, and there's some demos of like early songs, and like, I don't sound like I do now, which is cool. It's cool that you can,
in a good way.
Yeah, that you can do that, and it's just practice, and it's just work, and you can. I've never thought of myself as a front person. I've never thought of myself as a singer, and I've never thought of myself as a guitarist. Because I don't think I'm good at any of those things. I just like doing them. Like, I enjoy doing them. I'm not really bothered about being the best at any of them. It's nice to be put side by side with your heroes and things, and like, stand up against it. When we first put out our first record, or the first bits that got played on Kerrang, there was a obscure moment where like we were played after Blink-182 and before Linkin Park on one of the late shows on Kerrang, and I kind of had this moment listening on my headphones in bed, and I was like, I made that in my garage. Like, it's, like, that's cool. That's like, there's just this moment of like, you can make it too. And I think bands like While She Sleeps really inspire me, because they have that ethos, and they kind of bring that out in people, I think. And from what I've heard, I don't personally know them, but like people who I'm friends with who are in those circles, and they're like, it's kind of infectious to be around. You go to the warehouse and you just can't not do anything. Like, people are just, they're all creating and doing stuff, and it's like an infectious atmosphere. And I got really influenced by that, and have really tried to bring it into every band I was then doing. And WREX is the first one where it is naturally there. Like, in what we do, we just have I think
we've both got similar drive, I think.
Well, understanding neurodiversity as well. Like, we're just shadowing. We're body doubling each other. Like, I'll be mixing and you'll be editing a video, and we're just both doing something, and it's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy to see your dynamic with it, how you really seem to fit together, like you're made to work together because you're similar on a lot of topics and different, and you can just balance each other out.
It's a funny yin and yang, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's strange.
You're like the mad scientist, and I just do the spreadsheets.
No, that's not fair though. You're playing yourself down. Like, you come up with so many amazing things, and like put things together in ways my brain can't. You just come at things in a awesome way, and I think we both have an ability to see an end product and take the pieces and get it there, and we just do it in very different ways. But I guess what's kind of not unique, but like a blessing in our environment is there's not really hostility in the way, usually in my experience, there's usually a friction between a power struggle, and there isn't. It's just kind of, we just do our things.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, here's an idea.
Yeah.
Do what you want with it.
Which I think comes from the way we started it, like, because that was built into the foundation of like, we're just going to write some songs. It wasn't like, hey, I want to start a band, or it's my band and you're writing for it and you're the producer and I'm the artist. It was, which is what I thought it was going to be. That's what you were like, you didn't want to do it on your own.
Way too shy.
You just want to have fun with what you're doing and see how it goes.
Yeah. I've done this a lot. Like I've been in bands since I was 13 years old and like gigging, and I should be a lot better than I am for how much I've been doing it. But like I've just done it the other ways where it's like you take it really seriously and it's going to change your life or all these things, and you put all this emotion and like
you're just so heavily invested into it, like emotionally, I guess, that when something goes wrong, it can give you a real knock.
It can be quite easy to take it to become quite narcissistic and obsessive over it. Like you can turn it into, and you can see why bands come the way they do, and or certain people do. And I think I've just gone down those paths myself and realized the areas I didn't enjoy in this project. I just am trying to focus on the happiness and the joy and the childlike sense of play that you can bring to this. And remember that, like, I used to get home from school and put Kahan on every day and sit and play guitar because I loved it. That's nothing more than that. Like, I didn't sit there, there probably was points where I was like, I want to be like that, but only from a sense of belonging, not out of a sense of success. Like, I'm not really a materialistic person in terms of like cars or money and stuff like that. So yeah, it's nice to.
We don't have the money for extra cars.
Yeah.
You can sell some guitars.
Yeah, I think like even with guitars, I'm not like materialistic. I just like them. I just have them, and I've been lucky enough to collect them over time and pick them up. I think like the way getting back to it, I just try and keep a childlike sense of play, and we're very good at that. I think in what we do, we're saying like we went to play a gig last on the This Hell tour, and we were on the way to Bristol, and on the way we saw a sign for the UK's longest inflatable assault course. So we just pulled over and went and did that for an hour.
We're knackered by the time we got to the gig. Friction burns everywhere.
I just line it. Well, we've got to go and do that. Like, obviously, it's it's cool to have that fun in it, and like, I don't know, it should be fun. I think a lot of people take it seriously, and you can do it. You can do it with intent and take it seriously. But which we do. I think our early music videos were kind of jokey, probably because we were hiding behind our humor a bit. Whereas now we kind of almost flip it and we have more fun, like around each other, but then like can then be driven in what we want to do with it. So
music videos a bit more serious, aren't they, this time?
Yeah, they're a little bit more performance-y videos, but the songs are, I don't know.
The songs are still serious as well, like topic-wise.
Yeah, I think we just took a different angle. But yeah, I think we were hiding behind the humor a bit before. I know I do. It's like a self-defense mechanism kind of thing. I can only speak for myself personally, but I don't really like. Sometimes I have things to prove, and I get a bee in my bonnet. I can be real stubborn about it, for sure. But I was gonna say I don't do that anymore, but I know I totally did that with some things. But yeah, I try to not do it with this band.
I love
did it
how
once.
May's just laughing and not saying anything, but doesn't think like
I don't know. I mean, the last time I know I did it was my friends were doing like a gig, and it was like a night of classic rock. And on an email, they were like, "Oh yeah, so and so is going to come up and do a guest vocal, and so is going to come and do this." And in the email, they put, "Oh, we'll get George up. That'll be funny. Like he can be Lemmy." And I was like, "Oh, I'm the fucking joke, am I? I'll show you fucking joke." And I went and I rehearsed this song. Like I did Ace of Spades, and I rehearsed it so much to be. It's the only time I've been like, I'm going to be really good. And I went up with my friend and he's a world class guitarist. I love him to bits, but he was just like, fucking hell, I thought your voice was so powerful. I thought my guitar amp had blown up. And I was just
It's
like,
so loud.
well, at that moment, I was like, yeah. I walked off with a real sense of like achievement. Cause I was like, it was acknowledgement. I guess I just wanted them to acknowledge me in that sense. But
well, they'd never seen you sing.
Yeah, and I think that's the only time I've really sought that. It was the last time I got a BMM on it, I think. But yeah, with WREX, we try and keep it light in that sense. The music's heavy enough.
Yeah.
And we talked about your obvious influences, I might say, because they are kind of the same genre, but now we're going to switch with the two other lines that you chose that are quite different. So let's see how they influenced you. And we're going to start with the May's choice, that is from the song What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish, with the line, I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for. So why did you choose this line?
Less so these days, but there is like kind of a path that is laid out for women to take. Like, you are supposed to do this, and then you're supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do this. And in reality, you don't actually have to do any of it. You can, you know, you don't have to get married and have kids. You don't have to like be a stay-at-home mum and be the greatest chef. Because I'm definitely not. You don't want to eat my food. You can vouch for that. And I think a lot of people, you can find yourself like questioning what like your path is in life and what what you want to do. And I think I'm quite lucky that like the majority of the time I have always wanted to do music, but you do second guess yourself sometimes. And you just think, oh, what if I'd have done this differently? And I think just the way she delivers it as well is it just really cuts through. Like you can feel everything that she's feeling as she's singing it.
Actually, we have a lot of role models that make us think that everyone have their life figured out, and it's kind of a pressure that you have on society that you need to decide. And even as a kid, you need to decide what you want to do when you grow up. And I'm still not sure what I want to do when I grow up, and I'm 32.
Yeah, well, you have to categorize. Even when you get to secondary school, you're forced to choose five things that you like. And I've got like way more than 5 things that I like. You can check the house. And then you have to refine that even further to 3 things and then 1 thing. And how are you supposed to know by the time you're like 18 or even 20 what you want to do for the rest of your life?
Yeah, and you picked. I mean, I think of it as like university. Like I remember being in like year 8 or 9, and someone would be like, "What university do you want to go to?" I don't know.
How are you supposed to know?
I actually literally today I was having lunch. A dad was saying this to his daughter on the table next to me in the cafe like that I went to. Like he was like going like, "You need to start. You're not picking what your friends are doing or like where they want to go. You need to pick where you want. What do you want to do?" And it's like this girl must have been like 14.
And I think until you've actually been out in the world and you've had just like a bar job or a job, just like had a few jobs. Like, how do you even know whether you want to be stood up or sat down for work? Like, there's so many options, and you can, I feel like especially in high school, you're influenced a lot by your family. But why should they get to choose what you do with your life?
But it's funny because as you grow up, you realize that almost no one
actually knows.
Yeah. Everyone's cosplaying as an adult.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
And pretending they know what they're doing, and
until you are an adult that you realise, oh, actually, none of us know what's going on. We're all just taking it day by day, really. It's just not spoken about, is it? Because, if you're raising a child, you want to like be the foundation, don't you?
Well, it's seen as weakness to not know. I know the question is your lyric that you picked, but I think it's kind of cool that she sings it like delicately. Because to sing something delicately and yet be authoritative and not be seen as weak is a cool thing to pull off. I mean, that's hard as a vocalist.
Yeah. And it's not like I don't know, it's still like she, she might be like, doing it at a whisper volume, but she may as well be shouting it because you can't like not listen to it. It's just
Hmm.
such a, it's just so prominent.
I think we haven't discussed as well the age she is coming out with that lyric. Like, that's quite at that crossover of you think what you want to, where you've known what you want to do with your life. Maybe as a kid, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be this, and you've come up with that, and then like the age she's coming out with that is quite profound. I think. Obviously, it's why she's a world-class artist.
But I think behind this, there's also a lot of FOMO, because if you choose one way, then the other way is dead, basically. And then as you grow up, you realize that it's okay, you can start over. Life is long and short at the same time. It's long so you can try again, but it's too short to have regrets. So enjoy it to the fullest. But I think with our generation, this is becoming less and less of a pressure, or at least people talk about it more and more. Like, I don't see the people in the generation of my parents. I've never seen them like this, and we are more open about it.
I think the idea of like the job for life idea, like my stepdad finished college, worked for the local council, worked his way up from being an engineer on the street to being like the head engineer, and then retired. So he worked one place his entire life. So to him, I think that idea doesn't exist for us. Like, I don't know many people who do that. Like, and so I think, like I said, it's kind of vanishing a little bit because society doesn't live by the same paradigms.
Yeah.
Or industry doesn't.
And May, since you picked this line, is it something that used to give you anxiety or at least pressure? And is it something that is easier for you to own?
Yeah, I think there was pressure because I remember there was a point before I moved down to Brighton. Since I was a teenager, I knew I wanted to do music, but then it was then there was the pressure to go like and take a more like traditional route career wise, and so I kind of held off moving to Brighton because I was kind of in that middle ground of like which path do I take now? Because if I choose that one, as far as I'm aware, that was it. That's the path. That's what I'm stuck in. They don't really speak about whether you can't just duck in and out of whatever you want, but I did. So
yeah, I think you have to at least try, because otherwise you cannot spend your whole life wondering, what if I tried this?
I wasn't ready for a serious job at that point anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think that would have gone well for me.
But you are expected to be. That's what's mental. The way you talked about it.
Yeah, it was like, you need to earn at least this amount. You need to, but not only do you need to be able to earn this amount, you also need to be able to find a husband, have a house, have a car, be able to do all of these things, but still be expected to earn above this.
So far, we mostly talked about jobs, but yeah, there is also in the private life, there is a whole destiny that
so much
is expected.
But I mean, less so nowadays. I think it's getting more,
Definitely.
like, it's a lot more even these days. I remember looking through like a list of jobs, and my brother was like, I'm going to be an actuary when I grow up because that's the highest earning job. And that was genuinely what he chose that he wanted to be. It's like, do you actually want to be that though? Are you sure? As like a 13-year-old boy, you want to be that?
And is it what he is now?
No. No, he's in marketing.
Because also as a person, we evolve. So what you want now won't be the same in 5 years. So it's very hard to tell. Like the questions now, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know where I will be in 1 month.
Yeah. But it's not that I don't, it's not that I don't want any of those things, but just not immediately. Right now, I'm enjoying very much where I am in life. If I wanted all of that money, I wouldn't be spending it all on a band. So much rather have the band and have fun and live a little.
If you think too much about the future, you cannot even enjoy the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
our goals as a band as well has gone more from looking at numbers to looking at like how many people come into the shows and like what are we getting from it rather than what are our Spotify numbers or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's less clout. We're not really bothered. We're not as fussed about that stuff these days. Like we more talk about like the journey that we get to go on and like the things we get to do. And it's more experience based, isn't it?
Which is not, I think that's probably like the band version.
Yeah. I think everyone talks about the thing you need, the place. Everyone talks about the destination and not the journey. Like in each world, you talk about being the CEO of something, but you don't talk about like, people are like, oh yeah, you got to own your own company, you got to do all this. It's like, what does that actually look like? Do you actually want to do that? It is perfect. No one ever talks at school about like it's fine to just want to be like a plumber or a carpenter or whatever, like all the things that I don't know.
Things that you enjoy.
Yeah, for me, I was told at school that like, it was told that I should want more. You should be this or you. And it's like, why? Why can't I be those things if I enjoy them?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I remember, there's no shade on him, but someone like my stepdad, you need to do this because of this. And it's like, in your spare time, you do woodwork because that's now what keeps you happy. I don't want to wait till I'm 60 years old to do the stuff that makes me happy.
Well, you wouldn't be as good at 60 anyway.
Yeah, we won't be as quick. There's way less jumping.
Yeah, much less high kicks and jumping.
More catheters.
To wheel you around.
we did that from the Nan Fest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did dress up as elderly folks for a show.
There was a festival called Bring Your Nan Fest. And they had a fancy dress.
Of like grey wigs and like charity shop dresses and skirts. That'll be us when we're 60.
Yeah, fantastic.
You saw what your future looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a video for the song Paradise is us both in old age makeup.
Oh. I think that actually is what we'll look like.
Yeah. Our friend, rest in peace, Nathan, did a fantastic job of the makeup and really went all in. Bless him. Great. He was great.
Oh, he's incredible.
He was a fantastic by prosthetics.
Yeah. He did our sleepless stuff as well.
Yeah. I went to the shop in the morning. I went down to the co-op down the road or the shop, got some food. And then I had my prosthetics done and I went back. But the security guard was looking at me really weird because I think he recognised my tattoos. But
obviously your hands haven't aged.
My hands are still my hand age, but like my face is like an old man.
It was so realistic as well.
And we did a promo.
They even did fake eyebrows.
We did a promo video of like...
skating down the hill.
Yeah, I was skateboarding down a hill and going pretty fast actually. And like May was like filming it and going like, as I went past, I was like, pre-save paradise and like shouted at the camera. And she didn't get it. So she's like, you got to do it again. And this guy walking past thought I genuinely was an old man and was like, you're going to make him do that again? That's insane. It's fantastic.
Or you're forcing your grandpa to do all of this.
Jokes.
And now we will go to the song that George chose from the song Paul Revere by Noah Kahan and Gregory Alan Isakov with the line, "But I'm in my car and I see the yard, the patch of grass where we buried the dog, and the world makes sense behind a chain link fence. If I could leave, I would have already left." Why did you choose this line?
I think it just paints such a picture. I can see it as a picture, but yeah, I can also feel the emotion of like what I take from that lyric is like seeing your home. And I guess there's kind of this like mourning of childhood or like this like someone who wanted to leave but couldn't, but also yet life was so simple then. Like, the world made sense behind the chain linked fence. And it was kind of like this patch of land when you're a kid, like we said, like you're kind of unstoppable and life makes sense in that world. And I think it's a really beautiful lyric. I think it stopped me in my tracks when I heard it. That song in general was beautiful. I'm a big Gregory Alan Isakov fan of his songwriting. And yeah, I just think it just paints a beautiful image. I can see it like a movie scene. His lyrics to me, or that lyric, it's like a movie in my head. I've got like the movie version of synesthesia happening when I hear it.
So this is really a type of songwriting that you really like, that is very descriptive. And we talked about La Dispute before. That is also
Yeah, I
exactly like this.
guess. Yeah. I've never really analyzed it and put it into like a pile of like, I like this thing in such a black and white manner. But yeah, like I do tend, like I really like Motion City Soundtrack as well. And they do the same. I think the other lyric I was probably gonna pick was there's one of them new Motion City Soundtrack album. And they've got great lyrics all the time. One of them's really good, was it? Damn, I really had more to say about that dog. And it's just like, I just think what a great lyric. Like, so not dark or anything like that, but it's just like, I really wanted to continue talking about that. I was meant, and like, again, an innocence in it. And I think the hook of that chorus is like, I think you need a PhD in astrophysics to get me, if you get me.
Oh, it's that song.
And I just think they're great. I think it's like, I don't know, I love that play on words, like when, especially like to get me if you get me in that song. Like I love, like, you know, kind of same with like Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, like hello, how low, that kind of, or if you can say a line and then mirror the line and flip it, is a really cool thing I love to do. I focus on lyrics a lot, like that I connect to them. I like to pull them apart, and I'm not very good at English. Like I don't really read books. Not like I can't read.
You read some books?
Not really. It takes me like a year to read a book. The ADHD and that don't go together. So yeah, I didn't get on well at school in that sense. Like I wasn't traditionally book smart, but I wasn't dumb either, because it was the ADHD masking of like, I'll get through it so that you think I'm clever and I'll do what you want me to do, but it's not what I want. And it wasn't what interested me. So yeah, I just loved those kind of lyrics though, when it flips over and it's poetry on its own to me. And I think I always had an affiliation with that. Like, I think before I wrote songs, I probably wrote lyrics. Before I could play an instrument, I used to write songs just on sheets of paper as a kid. And my mum would be like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's a song I've written. And I had a book of songs that I wrote, and I'd be like, it goes like this, and I'd sing it. And, you know, yeah, I've always had a connection with that and lyrics. So.
And so now when you write for WREX, do you write more the lyrics before the melody?
Totally depends. Usually what I really enjoy at the minute, I'll have like notes like everyone else and things. What I enjoy is I get a big A3 piece of paper and I just write things on it as I'm going. And like there'll be usually like a hook, or what we kind of refer to as like the t-shirt lyric or the bumper sticker lyric, like, you know, like praying for you now, this hell goes a long way down. Like that was, as soon as I came out with that, I was like, there it is. That's the thing. And usually I'll write something like that on a piece of paper, and then the rest of it kind of forms around it, but it doesn't have to come in an order. And I don't worry about that anymore. I used to like have to write it like line by line, and like it had to make sense like that. And these days,
well, sometimes it's the music that comes first, and you have like the whole.
Yeah, like a lot of WREX stuff will be musically completed first, because we don't know like or I'll write a vocal on something, but then May will write something that just takes it somewhere so completely different that we then rewrite my part, or because it's not like set in stone. And I think we're in a place now in our like songwriting where we write it and we rewrite it and we rewrite it, and there's bits where it's like, is that I think on the Noose we were like, everything's mint, the chorus is not good now, we can do a better chorus. And we're like, right. And
we had a few, didn't we?
And we write like 3 choruses, and we just sit here, and I think we did write 3 or 4, and we recorded each of them. And then we were like, that one's cool. What if we add this one to that one, and we'll do it that way. And then eventually we're like, nah, that's the one. And like, when you know, but I think what's kind of more rewarding is to like go when you can confidently go, no, that's not it yet. And it's not like there's no shame attached to that. There's no like, you're not good because you didn't do it. It's just not there yet, which is fun when we write. Usually, yeah, it kind of it comes either way, really. It's not a fluid process. Each song's different. I do like having a track to like riff over, because I find I tend to like pick fun melodies and things a little bit more. One thing I will always try if I'm stuck is I pick up a guitar and play it as well. So there is that. It's almost like meditation in a way, because you're moving your body and you're kind of becoming more zen as you kind of connect to it. I find it easier to let go of what the song needs to be, or like my ego of what I think it is. And it sounds very holistic when you say it, but the idea of like Rick Rubin talks about it a lot, and you hear artists talk about it, is like, oh, this song just appeared. It's like it got gifted. Sometimes, and it does just kind of happen like that. Like you're like, yeah, you just kind of shut out the world and this thing happens. I don't think anything can replace that. Like, you know, it's mad what AI can do, don't get me wrong. Like, and it enables people in like, it makes art accessible for everyone in no different I think it's important to recognize, in the same way that like 50 years ago, 40 years ago, Photoshop did for like Andy Warhol. Oh no, I would have been that long ago. Photoshop wasn't around then, but you know what I mean? The point. I think it's cool that like you can, I think the attachment we have and the affinity we have, I don't think anything will replace that. I think like it just comes from your soul, from somewhere.
Still have a bit of a hard time imagining how you two making a song together works, because there's so much input from one and then from the other. But yeah, as you said, I guess it comes also very organically, and whatever comes, then you work around it. And this is what makes WREX.
Yeah, there's a lot of space and stuff. Like, so sometimes like musically I'll write a lot of track, but then you'll like sing things at me and go, what if it did this? And May will come up with parts or synth lines and things. And some songs, like there's stuff we're
the Room to Breathe kazoo.
Yeah, there's some stuff that like, yeah, literally there's one bit that
was it the kazoo? Or was it?
Yeah, we wrote a synth line on a kazoo. And
no, it was Vacant, where I had the video.
Vacant was you going, I want the synth to go like this, and you sang it at me, going, and Woody Woodpeckered at me. And then, yeah, sometimes May will like, so this Hell Goes a Long Way Down's a great example. I wrote that song on my lunch break at work in 15 minutes. I was teaching, and a student came in, and I had the drum loop and the bass, and I was messing with something, and I had it in my head where it could go. And the student walked in, he was like, came into the lesson early and sat at the back, and then I didn't notice him walk in, and he goes, oh, that sounds really cool. And I was like, doesn't it? This does sound cool. And then I ended up just tweaking it, and I got home and immediately was like, I just got to write this song. I'm starving, hungry, all these things, and none of them matter. I have to write this song. And it wasn't for anything. It was like, I just have to write it. And the hyperfixation was real. Like, I just had to, like, I'm not doing anything but writing the song, leave me alone. I just did it. And to me, that was done. And I'd written this thing, and it made sense to me, and it wasn't for WREX or anything. And then May wrote like the spoken word parts. Was like, what if you did this over this bit? Something I never even thought of. And just wrote a whole other section that like my brain couldn't fathom, but was like,
well, it was a bit like out there as well, because we hadn't done anything like that before.
Yeah, but I think what that is like there's a part in your head, there's a, like, neurologically what happens when you hear the same thing. Obviously it's safe, but you do want change. But if that change is expected and it's what you knew you were going to hear, you kind of disengage, or you're not as interested.
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably for me at that point, you'd added something that I was like, oh, I my brain didn't imagine that. And yours did, and but yet it's like, it's not like it was vetoed because like my brain didn't go, it's wrong, which maybe 10 years ago it would have gone, nope, it's not right. I don't know how we draw that line, but yeah, we quite often, and I'll do the same with your songs when you write stuff, kind of just goes back and forth. There's no, and then like I think it'd be unfair of us to not mention like Tom. So our guitarist Tom, often I would say, he's like the executive producer. So like once we've written a song and there's like a good demo there, he'll come in and kind of go, what if we did this? And he'll shake it up a bit. And there's some songs on the new record that we, it's not just us two anymore. As I said, WREX has become a space that other people kind of come and play in too. And like Kieran with Paranoia took it to a completely different place, or added a whole layer to it with Paranoia on the new record.
That really made it.
And I've been honest, I didn't quite get it at first. I was a bit like, there's too much. My brain didn't like it. It's like you're playing with my toys, and and everyone else around me was like, dude, this is good. And I had to like go, okay, I trust you all. And we put it all back together. And we basically, when Kieran and I came and played together and we neatened it up and we back and forth, it all fitted. And there's a song called 111, which we wrote with our friend Adam, which was just, again, like a kind of just a play date. Like he came round and we just were like, we've all got ADHD. Let's write a one. And I showed him like a riff and he was like, that was
a synth, wasn't it?
Yeah, I showed him a folder of ideas. I'd try and write, when I'm in the zone, I'll try and do something every day, like an idea every day. Just can be anything, doesn't have to be good or bad. And then at the weekend, I'll pick one to work on, or on my day off, and we'll pick which one we're excited about and things like that. And Adam, I just said to him, I was like, what do you like? And there was, I don't know if I can swear.
You already have.
Have I? Yeah. Those. So, there was a demo called "Fuck You Right Hand" because it was really hard to play, and he was like, "What's that?" And he's a better guitarist than me, and he kind of turned it into something cool, better, like that than where my brain had gone. And we just wrote the 111. We was like, this song doesn't need to be any longer than that. Like, it needs to be 1 minute and 11 seconds long.
Anymore, we'd all just die of heat exhaustion on stage.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that it's extended out of us and into other people, and we can share that space and we can create, and there is that back and forth without that feeling of like, I don't feel like we've lost any authenticity in doing so on this new record. And then there's some songs, there's the song on the new record, 1,000 Ways, that was written in 10 minutes on my own. I sent you it and was like, I've written this. I think I was definitely supposed to be doing something else. The vocal you hear on that is pretty much the writing vocal. I did it just on the microphone in the room with the speakers on, which is terrible engineering. Some songs are really quick. Some songs are a labor of love. The Noose is like
2 songs combined.
Yeah, 2 songs combined. Like the piano section in the Noose and then the outro.
We wrote that like when we were writing like Static Waves, didn't we?
Yeah, so that's like 2022.
Not that old. I think it's 2023 because we put it out at the start of 24.
Yeah. So that was just something that we were like, we had this song, we couldn't figure out the end. Where does this go? And then we were just looking through the folder and our guitarist was like, whatever happened to that thing? And we showed him it and he was like, yo, what's this? This is really good. And then I was like, yeah, it'd be cool if we could use it for something. And he was like, well, it fits this. Just change the key. And we just changed the key, switched our vocal parts around and done. I think even in that, like, you were a bit like, oh, well, I liked that vocal part. And I
was just like, I really liked my original part. So I was a bit sad that I don't get to keep my original part. That's fine. I'm over it.
But it's still there. It's just, it fitted because we changed the key. I had to sing it. But we'll often have this bit where we both have to let go of our egos and go like, doesn't matter who wrote it, but whose voice does it sound right in? Or...
Well, I physically couldn't sing it in the new key.
Yeah.
The only way to keep it was to change parts.
And then like Consume, I wrote a lot of the lyrics on that and like demoed it. But then May was doing her bits, but then it was almost at first like you were trying to imitate me. And then you had to like almost stop acting as me and like I like translate it to you. and do your version of it. And that was cool. I think that was empowering. And that was a cool moment watching you do that for me. I was like, it was cool to see you take ownership and not try and pretend and put your stamp on something in a really cool way.
Yeah, I think I probably just felt a bit like guilty to begin with for like taking the part off you.
No, it needed to be you.
Oh.
It's cool. And we kind of just go into a lot of it with that kind of open-mindedness, which is nice. It's fun.
The result of all of this collaboration, some compromises, you can hear it on the new EP, Sad World. And so now what's next for Rex?
Fair few shows lined up, 37 so far, but I'm still booking, so 40 to 45 probably by the end of the year. Yeah, just a few. We've got a couple of festivals this year, which is exciting. A few have already been announced as well, which is nice.
And
obviously the releases and some more secret things that we can't tell you about yet.
yeah, there's more releases that aren't this record, which will be cool.
Yeah.
And we're always writing. There's a whiteboard down here with 20 songs on it. There's always just a thing, and we kind of keep that kind of.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to writing the next batch.
Well, I'm looking forward to the breakthrough one. There's always one that like changes the direction ever so slightly, or like a sound or something comes in and it influences things, and I'm looking forward to that because you can't plan it, you can't, and that's cool. And
I'm excited for the one with the cool synth.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It takes a lot out of me personally, like finishing a record. So I have to like treat it as like, when's your artist time and when's your producer time and your mixer time, and try and switch my hats a little bit on it. And yeah, the mixing almost, I was talking to an industry friend about it, and he's like, do you think you get someone else to mix it? And I was like, probably not. I just, it's kind of my own self-punishment in a sadistic way, but I just do love it. But it does always take over. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new stuff, like the next.
Yeah, I'm excited to just not to like have it out and be done with it, but to like have it out and share it with everyone, and for us to be able to then clear our minds for writing the new stuff.
I'm excited for that bit. Actually, I think it's not fair to to push that under the rug, because I think like This Hell Goes a Long Way Down kind of lived out on it for a good year. But we didn't put out any music last year, but that was cool. I think it was really rewarding to do that, because it's very easy. Like a band can just make an EP, they do one tour of it, and then they start working on the next thing. No, I don't think that's how it should be done. Like, I think I
think we'll probably end up doing a similar thing though, won't we?
Yeah, but it's nice to. I'm looking forward to giving people the opportunity to hear it and to create their own relationships with it and moments. It's kind of like watching your songs come of age, and I'm looking forward to see them go off into the world and become other people's now. And I'm excited about that. But I don't plan for this and don't need it. But there is just that moment when someone comes up to you and they go like, "Oh, that lyric or that song," and
I see them singing it back.
That was wild. The first time that ever happened, that was wild. I remember like the backing track for Take a Walk started, and it was the first time I think we played that song in Brighton, and there was someone in the front row who screamed with excitement and started singing the words back, and I was just kind of like, the words better than me. Like, this is wild. So I'm looking forward to those. I'm looking forward to like almost redefining my relationship with the songs as we get to share them with people. They're not about the emotion that it was for me personally. Like, because I feel that very heavily, I can let go of that. When we say release day is a day for us as well. It's like it is genuinely like an emotional release of like, oh, it's out in the world, like it's done. So I'm looking forward to that, because it's not, it's not done yet. Like, we're doing all this bit and we're talking about it, and it's really fun. But
we finally get to talk about it.
Yeah, this is cool. It's just, and it's the most we've ever got to do this stuff as well, which is really nice. Because I'm just looking forward to all the next bit and seeing where it takes us.
Once again, congratulations on this EP, and I
Thank
hope
you.
someday I get to see you live, because the songs sound like they are made to be played live and at a show, and everyone singing and dancing. So
yeah, well, we will.
Yeah. Well, George and May, thank you very much for being here. I really had a very lovely conversation with you.
Thanks
so much for having us.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you so much. It's been really nice to talk about our songs and our world with you.
For everyone listening, go follow WREX on Instagram. Go listen to them wherever you listen to your music. follow them, and in May, go listen to their EP, Sad World. You can also follow me on Instagram at Into the Cave Pod. You can like, follow, subscribe, anything that helps. I will talk to you again next week with a new guest, and meanwhile, be kind to yourself. Bye.